and welcome to my channel. I'm Joy Fahey, and if you're here for the first time, special welcome, and if you're returning, it's great to see you. So today we're going to talk about different original ways of doing some collage. I don't know about you, but I've got lots of scraps of paper and things that I've used over the year. We're coming to the end of the year. I've got paintings and things that I've been playing with, and I don't want to throw them away. So I thought I would use them to experiment using some very different and unique tools to make different marks and patterns and designs for collage. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have some fun. It's a great feeling because, you haven't got any worries about getting a fantastic result. You can just have the freedom to play. So let's dive in and make a start. So first off, I'm just going to show you how I try and organise my collage paper because I've got so many different folders. I basically keep everything in a box, but I try to put them into folders so I know a little bit what's what. So on here, I've got some ideas of different things that I've done. I love these. These were from our actual palette that I was using with gold and bronze and black. So I've got kind of lots of interesting things in here, collage that I've made. And then in here, again, some bigger pieces of different collages and stuff. I keep all my scraps and paper, magazines and all that kind of thing in another folder. I then put all the little scraps in a box so I can go through these. These are the things that I've used and then torn up, and that kind of works really well. And then I collect lots of different things that I can use for mark making, which I'm going to show you in a second. So I've actually gone through all my folders today, and I've come up with a few things of the things that I'm going to do. I've cut them into smaller pieces, so I've got a nice combination of all different things. And of course I love collecting wrapping paper, so I've got quite a bit of that. Different pictures that I've done as playthings, I've cut those up. So I've cut them all into relatively small pieces so I can do some things on there. Then I've got just some paper, copy paper, some things that I do playthings on. So I've cut those up. And then I've also got my tissue paper. And I've got different sizes of those, so I'm going to have a play with those. So I've kind of sorted that out so we can make a start. So now let me show you some of the things that we can use for mark making, because this is really fun. First of all, kind of things that I've just got in the studio: an array of brushes, a roller. I've got an old toothbrush. I mean, we're going to sort of see what happens. Old brushes which I can't use anymore, and they're kind of interesting. I've got a couple of fan brushes. This one, I think that was a makeup brush, I'm not sure, but it's going to be kind of useful to see what might happen with it. And that's another little fan brush. I've got a chopstick, a skewer, various cardboard little scrapers. I found this nice thing with severed edges, which is great. I've also got a brayer, which is great. I'm going to use some of that maybe. So those, I've got some palette knives as well. So those are kind of normal things. These are not normal things. Let me just get some of them out and show you, because they're really good fun. So I've been in the garden this morning, and I've got an olive tree in my garden, so I got a few of these twigs. I've also got some bamboo, and I think that might be interesting. I've got a small one and a bigger one. Now this packing stuff, this comes when I order paints, and I thought, oh, that kind of might be interesting for something. So there we are. I also got some stones, and we're going to see what happens with the mark making on those. These are bottle tops. That was one that was broken, but I thought that it might be interesting to see. And I've got some corks. Now, that one's kind of, I think my dog chewed that one. And these are different textures. And I could always cut into these to make these into little stamp. So that's kind of interesting. This is a cat tin, so it's going to be nice for some big circles. What else have I got? I've found a nice, really nice leaf. I love the shape of that. So let's see what might happen. This is like a strange cone. And I think that might be interesting. So I kind of collect things as I go. I've also found some shells. Now these are really interesting. I don't know quite how that will work, but we'll have a go. It's always kind of interesting to experiment with different things. That's another piece of kind of clay stone, very interesting. So have a go with that. Some other shells. And this one is from vegetables, and I think that might be kind of interesting as stenciling. And I've got some bubble wrap and some little icicle sticks, I think you call them. So a nice kind of array of different things. I found these, I don't know quite when I did this, but I made some stamps with some cardboard. So, you know, you can be as inventive as you like with what you might use for mark making. The idea is really to kind of loosen up and have fun and just experiment. You know, it's going to be on old paper. You can throw them away if they don't work how you want them to, or, you know, they might turn out to be fantastic. So who knows? So now I'm going to just get a palette together and we'll make a start. So first off, I'm just using black and white. I've just mixed some black and I'm putting a bit of water in it. And the first thing I'm going to start off with is like a little wooden thing I found. I'm just going to use the end of it to make some interesting sort of kind of circles. And, you know, again, you can just play around and see, you know, I use either end. On this one, I'm using actually the end of a chopstick. And, you know, I'm just going to go through them quite quickly, just to give you an idea of, you know, different marks that obviously all these different things will make. This one is a fan brush, and it's just a very small one, but it makes some really nice marks. I've got some different size fan brushes, but I like this little one. And I like the unevenness of it. You know, they're not, you can see it's the same thing, but it's not all even. And you can use it in different ways, you know, dots and lines and all that kind of thing. So you get some nice effects from that little brush. This I love doing because you can do all kinds of interesting shapes and it comes out all wonky, and I love that. It's kind of got so much energy and freedom in it. This is another small brush that's kind of quite hard. I don't use this brush for painting, but it's good for mark making, and it's kind of quite scratchy. And you know, again, I don't like throwing away old brushes. You can always use them for something and see what they can do. You know, you can cut them up a bit and do some strange things with. And, you know, they're great for this kind of thing. And, you know, experiment with all the different things that they can do. So we're carrying on. What am I going to use next? Oh, this is a palette knife, a small palette knife. And again, nice, interesting shapes. I keep going back into the black to pick up some more paint. And, you know, I don't use a lot of palette knives these days. I used to. But, you know, this kind of inspires me to do a little bit more. And then you can kind of, you know, mess it around and not make it even. We're looking for sort of freedom and energy and expression when we're doing this kind of thing. And, you know, when you come to do a painting and you feel you need something that's not contrived, and it's difficult to do that when you're actually doing a painting. So having all these little bits and pieces around is great. This is an old toothbrush and it's gone quite hard, this brush. So you've got some really nice strong marks coming from this. And I enjoy doing that. And then this is an old makeup brush, I think, which I cut. And again, some nice different kinds of marks from that. And again, swishing it around. Just the freedom to do this is so good, because you're just not thinking, you're just kind of going with it. And I think that's the point. It's very hard to do that when you just want to, when you're doing a painting without thinking about it. And when you're doing this kind of stuff, you don't have to think. So I've mixed a bit of the white in to make some grey, and I'm using a different kind of palette knife here. Again, a different kind of shape. So I'm putting some grey in here, and then I think I'm going to put some black in between. So, I'm kind of thinking of stuff, when I'm painting, you want sort of interesting things that are underneath, and also interesting things on top when you're doing your painting. And these are just kind of really nice and free. So now, what am I using now is it's a cork, and I love using those because you get some very nice effects from those. And as I said before, you can even cut into them and make some different kind of stamps with them. I think this is a bottle top that I'm going to use here now. And again, these are great for circles, and you can use all different sizes of bottle tops. And again, these are nice for, on top and underneath on a painting. And obviously you can paint over the top of it and do all kinds of things, but it's nice to have a circle that's the same, but you can kind of mess it up a bit. Now this is the olive twig that I found with a few little leaves on it, and that's kind of quite scratchy and nice. I like all that kind of stuff. And then I'm just using a pencil here, a graphite pencil, on some packing paper, which is quite creased, so it's got some nice texture. And I love doing the kind of, pretend writing. And I'm putting a little bit of the grey on top of it. So you've got the writing underneath, and then this grey on top. And again, nice effects for a foundation for a painting. And this is a thick packing paper. It's very textured, so you can pick up the texture of the paper, and you can work on this quite a lot because obviously the paper's really thick. And you'll see later, what I do with that. I'd kind of let that one dry and then put some stuff on the top of it. And then this one I think I'm going to do in black. So I'm going to have one with white underneath and one with black on the top. And then you can pick up the folds of the paper, the creases. And I actually like kind of scrunching it up so it's more creased. And then you'll get, the bits that are sticking up that you can highlight. And I'm using here an acrylic pen. I'm sorry I didn't show you these before, but I'm using, some different pens and crayons just for a bit of, variation. And it's what springs to mind. I don't have a set plan because it's all very, intuitive and playful. So this is a very thin brush that I'm doing some design on top. And again, you're going to pick up that texture. And those textures are fantastic for paintings. You can stick the paper down and really use it as a really nice texture. Now this is from the packing, the packing stuff that I got. And that's really nice. I really like that. And then I'm going to use the bamboo here. Let's see what happens. I think it will be kind of quite interesting to see. Again, you're getting lovely textures. Now, you wouldn't be able to do this with a brush. And, to do this on collage and experiment with it, you then might feel confident to go and put it on the canvas. But it's wonderful, the freedom of it and the unstructuredness. And I think I'm going to put that on top of here too. Again, you can kind of see how it's picking up the texture of that thick creased paper. Really interesting. And you know, obviously you can do whatever you like with it. You know, here I'm kind of using my fingers and just having a good play. Now this is some tissue paper that I've already painted on, and I'm using my acrylic pens now to do some mark making. And you know, you can use anything. You could use crayons, you can use wax crayons, pastels, anything that's at hand that you know you might feel inspired to use. And one of the things I will mention, that if you feel sometimes that you really get stuck on what to do with a painting next, I've got a free PDF download on 10 ideas to you can use to get unstuck on a painting. So you might find that interesting to have a look at. So these are just now cut up pieces of paintings that I've had as play pieces. And again, it's great to dive into these. This gives you kind of confidence to actually take it to the next step. If you're on a painting and you're wondering what to do and you're a bit nervous of, you know, putting something on it, this kind of gives you the confidence to explore the possibilities with different things. I'm obviously just using some pens here, but you know, again, crayons and wax crayons or whatever you'd like to use. So these are fun to do, and you can turn them into cards. They can make really pretty cards if some of them look really nice, and you know, to see how they work out. Some of them will work, some of them won't, but the whole point is to enjoy the process and have some fun with it and experiment. So there we have it. Just a fun collection of different things that we might be able to use as collage, as ideas, as starting points for paintings. And, you know, it's wonderful to have just the time to not think and enjoy and play. And, you know, some of these things, I mean, I really like that. And I love these two with the white underneath and the black on top. I love the writing one. I mean, you can just carry on playing and it will give you ideas. If you never use them in a collage, it doesn't matter, but you've enjoyed the process and you've gained something. You've seen, you know, what you might be able to do when you just loosen up, not worry. They're just, you know, bits of paper, but you can enjoy and have fun with it and gain inspiration and new possibilities. And I think that's, you know, that's one of the most important things about painting. You want to feel loose, you want to feel the freedom of it without the thinking. And I think doing this kind of thing really gives you that opportunity. So I hope you've enjoyed this process and it's given you some inspiration to experiment with different materials to make really original, different kind of mark making, either on your collage or indeed on your paintings. And don't forget, I've put the link below for your 10 tips on what to do if you feel stuck with a painting, if you need some more ideas and inspiration. And do leave me a comment. You know, what have you used that's really been different and given you some great original different marks on your collage? That would be wonderful. And if you enjoyed this video, do give me the thumbs up and subscribe. You know, YouTube loves that and it helps me share our love of art to as many people as possible. So I look forward to seeing you again soon, and happy mark making. Bye for now.